It was good, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are all well. This is gonna be once in a blue moon reading. Um, so yeah, I kind of want to do the like what to like what miracle to expect, right? Because it is a special time, right? The once in a blue moon, full moon, right? The blue moon, full moon. I don't know why. I guess because yeah, it is that important, right? It's like interesting things start to happen, right? Which I've already started experiencing for myself. So for anybody out there, obviously, we're gonna start with Gemini since it's Gemini's birthday. So Gemini, um, I'm a Gemini son. I love Geminis. Um, yeah, I wouldn't have wanted to be anything else. So, oh, and also this full moon, right? It's in Sagittarius, and that's my moon. So yeah, I feel like that's why I've already been experiencing some interesting things. Okay, so Gemini, happy birthday, Geminis. I'm gonna start with you. Let's see. I don't know. I've pulled out like all the decks. I feel like I'm being called to use a few of the decks. Wow. So first for Gemini, Wombat Spirit, be at home. Maybe for your birthday, right? You don't really need to do anything extravagant. Just or it could be, kind of like, the turtle, right? Anywhere you go is your home, right? Which sounds very Gemini-ish, right? I like that turtle. It's just chilling, right? So the wombat spirit, be at home, right? Wearing your little, all bedazzled up. 68 might be significant, right? It adds up to 14, which is five. Number of change, right? Maybe before you go through some changes, it's a good time to process things at home. Let me see. Oh, where's my other? I wanted to use this one deck that I haven't used in a while, and I don't know where. You gotta be kidding me. I just had it. Wow. That doesn't even make sense. Did I leave it somewhere? Huh. Oh, wow. Okay. So this came to me because I haven't used it in a while, and I'm not gonna read the books right now, but so anyone right watching, you can look up what the wombat spirit means. Oh, wow. Look at Interesting. I don't know why this came out for Gemini, but Ran, upheaval. Maybe you're coming out of an upheaval. That's what I'm feeling. My gut lit up as I said that, right? Man, I wish I had more time to be reading all but it feels like that, right? Like the waters have finally calmed down. And maybe that's why they'll be at home, right? Oh, I got chills. So I feel like that's the message. You just came out of a time of upheaval where things are gonna be more calm now, right? So Ran, upheaval, wombat. Okay, let me do a numinous. Yeah, I'm just gonna be pulling them like that and so let's see, Gemini. Whoa, what flipped over, sir? Oh, Pluto. Wow, transformation. So that kind of goes with the number five, right? Maybe right now is a time of transformation. So that makes sense. The be at home, renewal, inner resources, basic instinct, motivation, personal power, evolution, composting, cycles, death, rebirth, subversion, suspicion, obsession, intensity, reckoning, taboos, clearing, extremes, right? So maybe I feel like you already went through a lot of that stuff with the upheaval card, right? Like you're coming into a more peaceful state at this time, right? If you need any assistance, call on the wombat spirit. Maybe you went through so much upheaval that being at home feels weird right now, right? So call on the wombat spirit and ask it to help you, right? Maybe find that peace, that calmness to be able to stay at home, right? So, okay, that's wombat spirit. Whoa. Wow, interesting. Two cards just flew. Felt very Gemini-ish, right? So, once in a blue moon, it is like a time of miracles, right? So, abundance, maybe for you, wow, my whole gut's lighting up. Maybe something emotional connections have been something that you've been missing. Right? So maybe you'll be connecting with Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, right? Or maybe that, right? It'll be like different things to choose from. And look at, like, I feel like it won't be a problem for you to know what's in your best interest, right? Like what resonates the best with you. Maybe you were already recently, during this once in a blue moon kind of situation, you already, wow, my gut's lighting up like crazy. So, for each one, that's kind of what I'm aiming at, right? Like what's kind of the once in a blue moon miracle that's coming through. And it feels like for Gemini, there's some kind of, man, my gut is lighting up like crazy, crazy, crazy. So maybe that's what it is, right? Maybe that's been the thing, right? Like emotional connections. And so, wow. Yeah, yeah. So it feels like there was a time, right? Maybe you were dealing, right? In the past, you were dealing with that kind of energy, right? Maybe people that were like win at all costs kind of situations, right? It kind of left you. Maybe there's already been, ooh, I got chills again. Maybe um there's been situations, but you just, whatever you dealt with in the past left you kind of feeling a little depleted, right? After dealing with these kind of energies, right? Some win at all costs kind of energies. But I feel like you've already had a rest, right? You've been able to take some time to rest, recover, right? A death and rebirth, basically. And yeah, definitely. Wow. Yeah, wow. This is crazy. So there was a lot of that energy. Whether this was you or I don't know, right? But Five of Cups, right? Maybe that was the upheaval. I don't know. That's crazy. But it feels like now everything's like, yeah, new things, right? Hey, River Dragon. Hope you're well. Ace of Ace of Cups, Ace of Pentacles. So it feels like financially and emotionally better things are coming, right? That it's gonna seem like out of thin air, right? And it's funny that the cups came out first, and that's blue, right? Since I'm doing the blue moon kind of thing, that's funny that that's like the first card that came out, right? Man, my gut keeps lighting up every time I touch this, like exaggerated, like just doof. All right, so it feels like it's a better time, right? Wow, look at as I split the deck. Celebration. That is crazy. Okay. Well, it was the Knight of Wands too, but I mean Knight of Swords. So something rushing in. Maybe that it is something coming in a lot faster than you realize. Hmm. I feel like this energy be this way for, right? For anything that you kind of cut through the BS, but don't be so much like this that when something new comes in, you push it away, right? So I think that's kind of the warning, right? Because it feels like something like luck is definitely on your side. Even though I didn't see the Wheel of Fortune, it just feels like, wow, yeah, like it's very divinely. And there's that Sagittarius for the Sagittarius full moon, right? Wow, through this whole reading, Gemini, my gut has just been like glowing like crazy. Like it feels good, like overly, right? Like if when you're on a roller coaster with that good feeling, like it's been nonstop. So yeah. Ah, yeah. I think in the past, just be careful, right? I think it's gonna be a time when you just So this King of Swords makes plenty of sense, right? Maybe in the past you were dealing with, I mean, with that Five of Swords even, right? I feel like you were dealing with very toxic situations in the past, right? I would say don't let them back into your. Look at the devil came out with maybe you were being juggled by somebody in the past, right? The devil with this Two of Pentacles makes me feel that you were dealing with a situation that was very unbalanced in the past. That's why your guard may be a little up, but you know, divine intervention, right? It's like if your spirit guides have been working overtime to make sure you get um yeah, what's due to you, right? What's owed to you. And it looks like that could be both financial and emotional um stability, success, I guess, but just wow, yeah, look at this is wish fulfillment, right? Deseos cumplidos. So it feels like haha, things are definitely on your side, right? So, yeah, I would say it's good, right? It's a good time to be a Gemini. Happy birthday to all the Geminis, right? And yeah, hopefully you enjoy your birthday and all that good stuff. Oh, I didn't get man. I don't know where my dice are. That's fine. I got that extra deck that I'm using anyway, so I guess I'm not gonna roll any dice today, right? But right, we have a 68 here. What other numbers popped up? We have a 68. We have 9, a 3. So I don't know, maybe you're June 3rd, June 9th, I don't know, 6, 9 again, right? So June 6th, June 9th. Yeah, so okay. I forgot all these. Yeah, June 14th, 2nd, 15th, 4th, 5th, right? So I don't know. Okay, so let's see. Let's move on to who's after. Obviously, I'm not going in. I'm gonna have to come around again. So we went from Gemini. I guess I could go back, right? I'll do it that way then. So obviously, Gemini went first because it's your birthday. We'll go ahead and go into Aries, right? Yeah. So we'll do Aries next. Let me see. Since I know you're a Aries, right, River Dragon? So we'll go ahead and so for the blue moon, right? Once in a blue moon, what's kind of a miracle that's looking to happen? Okay, so first, what spirit animal? Oh wow, the parrot. So maybe look out for parrots. 45 might be significant. Watch your words. Uh-oh. So I don't know. Watch your words. Maybe you don't need to divulge everything at this moment, right? So yeah, we'll say that. Let's see what else comes out with that. But I love the parrot, right? It's like to me when I see the parrots, I'm always happy, right? It's a very vibrant. It literally represents happiness, right? The parrot. So yeah, maybe everybody doesn't need to know how happy you are, because then obviously, I don't know. People sometimes don't want you to be happy for some reason. Man, cards. Okay. Um. Yeah. So for the okay, that's fine. They fell on the floor, but let me redo it because there was okay. Whoa. Okay. Hmm. Watcher or sanctuary. Interesting. Bastet. So maybe you might want to look her up. Maybe the cat is significant. Bastet, sanctuary. Interesting. That's the Ankh, right? Maybe the Ankh. Maybe there's something you're going through right now spiritually. Maybe that's why. Watch your words. Not everybody needs to know about your journey. I got chills with that on the feminine side. So maybe you're tapping more into your intuition right now. Something like that, right? Yeah. So you might want to call on the parrot. Maybe you're looking to be more happy, right? Maybe that's something you're trying to tap into. And the parrot is definitely what can help you tap into that energy, right? Like if you tap into the parrot, like for example in the spirit world, it's like let's say you're someone that usually has visions with that's so funny because I just did a collective reading with Rebecca right on her channel, but I we did the collaboration link so it appears on my channel too. But while I was doing that with her, I had a vision of like there was this light and it was in this place and then the light peacocked out, right? Like it went like that and then everything was turning into color, right? So maybe if you have visions that aren't so colorful, tapping into the parrot, it's almost like in that vision everything coming alive, right? Turning colorful, right? Hmm. Interesting. Okay. So hopefully that made sense. But let's see. I got that. Let me get the numinous real quick. Hmm. It jumped out and then so. Oh, okay. Ah, that's funny. The numinous. Wow, and that kind of goes with it. Just feels very maybe yeah. Maybe you have a connection to Egypt, right? Pyramids might be significant. There's I mean, pyramids are everywhere, right? China, Mexico, Egypt. I'm sure there's more, right? They say that there were pyramids in the U.S. that got hidden under hills or whatever. So, maybe there's something there. Maybe you're going to the DMV with the little letters there, the mystery, the unknown, the unknowable, ESP, right? So yeah, maybe you're tapping in right now. That's what I had said, right? With this to your intuition, right? Because I had that little the unknown, the noble ESP psychic abilities, the cosmos, universal truth, oneness, source, the unnameable shadow work. Maybe you're doing some shadow work, inner knowing, tingling, ghosts, other worlds, space, enigmas, the occult, intuition. There it is, the intuition. Um, okay, so that makes sense. So maybe right now that's gonna be a big thing for you, right? The once in a blue moon. Maybe you've been struggling with your intuition. You're tapping in all that. So maybe this would be a time when it would feel almost miraculous, right? Like it'd be like, what? Everything would just make sense. Wow. I don't know. Either this is you or maybe someone else, right? Maybe there's a connection coming in for you, a strong connection, right? Maybe one of you is already financially secure or just has the Queen of Pentacles isn't always like about finances. It's someone that's very grounded, nurturing, right? There's a lot more to the Queen of Pentacles, right? It says an able woman, right? But so it's just the feminine energy. It doesn't have, and it says protection and security. See, so that's even, yeah. So it's not about just like the gender, right? It's an energy, right? And that's funny that out of all things it says protection, right? And I've never read that. I don't think when I've pulled out this card, so it jumped out at me right now, right? Protective energy, secure energy, right? Generous, fertile. So I don't know. I guess, well, and there's the parrot. Ah, ha, 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 ha. What came out for you? The parrot. And what makes an appearance? The parrots. I hear them outside. That's so funny. See? So that's beautiful. Yeah. So definitely tap into the parrot, right? Because, wow, maybe something did come to the end of a cycle, right? Death and rebirth. This was underneath. So maybe now it's gonna seem like, yeah, almost like a miracle, right? Once in a blue moon, it's like something finally came to an end, right? A cycle. Maybe there was a lesson to be learned. Yeah, my gut's lighting up like crazy. I didn't even feel, it's funny. I had to kind of force myself. Oh, wow, that's interesting. This came out in reverse. Wait, did I get the deck in reverse? No? Yeah. This came out in reverse. Yeah, maybe there was something else that had to come to an. Maybe a marriage ended. Uh, you know, I know it's common, right? Like, that's a common thing, right? Like there's those things of like people will be separated. That blows my mind, but I get it now, having seen those kind of situations where someone will still be legally married for like 2 years after and someone's not signing papers or something. And so maybe there's something that finally came to an end, right? And that's gonna finally, maybe there was something that you didn't understand why new things wouldn't come in for you, and it's because you never really completely closed off past things, right? Maybe you finally got that message with the death card coming out too, and because of that, it'll finally open up. Okay, maybe I'm like, watch your words. I'm trying not to be so blunt, right? Because I could be very blunt, right? But I guess I'll just be blunt. I think Aries have thick skin, hopefully, right? Sometimes it's common sense, right? But not everybody, it's not that people lack common sense. It's just sometimes people don't, they want to do things their way. So it could be more of a stubbornness, really, to be blunt, right? Sometimes people just want to do things their way. You could be being guided by spirit 100 million%, and people just want to do things their way. So it's not like I've never done things my way too, right? So maybe something finally closing, and then all of a sudden it seems like a miracle. And I keep getting chills everywhere. It feels like a miracle, like, oh wow, like now something beautiful comes in, right? Something when all along, wow, as I split the deck again, remember before it was under, now it's as I split the deck, there's that death card again, right? As I'm saying all that, and celebration. So, sometimes things are there for us and we just don't listen really. So that's kind of wow. Why did this King of Swords, right? Maybe for you there's a little bit of that energy too of if you finally brought things to a close with things of the past, it's about, sitting on that throne and cutting off what you're no longer meant to entertain, right? And my gut's lighting up like crazy. Look at it now as I split the deck. Oh, man, that's a lot of nakedness, right? The world, right? So complete, something that's completely finished, right? And now it feels successful, right? Like something successfully has came to a close and the lover's on the other side. So that's what allowed or allows for a new beginning, right? That's what to look out for with this blue moon. A miracle, right? Definitely, like literally a miracle. But it's for those of you that have done the work, right? Close something, right? Whether it was like that, always starting new relationships without ever having finalized like a divorce. And this could be, even with relationships, right? Like, there's different people that do things different way. That's not something I've ever agreed with personally in my there's too many chords for those of you that know that language, right? Too many chords, too many open doors to always be connected to things of the past, right? Um, you know, And so those kind of things, like, oh, I'm still BFFs with my ex, or oh, this or that, or all these things that then don't be surprised why, these beautiful new beginnings don't come in, right? And not everybody has that lesson. Some people, it's different, but that's what I'm getting here, right? And my gut's lighting up, everything's like do 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 doom. So yeah, I feel like that was that's something to look out for. Hopefully those of you that have completed that cycle, which some of you I could see did, there's beautiful things coming in. So yeah, that's it for Aries in this blue moon thing. It's gonna seem almost miraculously, but in this case, I feel like whatever Aries energy I connected with actually did what they were supposed to do if they want that, if they want that, right? If you don't, then it's cool. No worries. You do you, right? But that's kind of what I got from the spirit world. That's the message, right? Okay, perfect. Now let's go on to what's after Aries? Taurus, right? Okay, Taurus. So, yeah, let me start with this. Wow, so far, I mean, man, it feels like, yeah, some pretty good energies, right? With Gemini, then Aries, now Taurus. Whoa, right away. Wow. Love is all around. Wow, Taurus, that's pretty cool. 41. Nightingale spirit. Love is all around. So maybe pay attention to the birds. Maybe they're gonna let you know when love is getting close, right? Or maybe you'll notice it, right? Maybe you'll be with a significant other and you'll hear the birds chirping, and that's kind of like a nod from the universe, right? Or your guides or whoever letting you know, you see, like things are beautiful after all, right? Okay. So let me see. Aphrodite. Wow. You can't even make that up. Romance. Wow. So Taurus, Nightingale spirit, love is all around. Literally, Aphrodite, the goddess of love, romance. So, I guess that's kind of the Taurus energy right now. Interesting. Let me see what the numinous has to say. That's funny. Mercury communication. So maybe that's kind of what happens, right? With the wow, that even looks like a blue moon, right? So wow, maybe this blue moon is huge for you. That's great. Look at words, thoughts, analysis, information, learning, trade, ideas, smarts, reporting, awareness, vision, lens, palette, perception, curiosity, narrative, muse, wonder. Wow, maybe you'll be each other's muses, right? Whoever you connect with all this love going around. But I'm sure it's gonna start off as simple as communication, right? If someone piques your interest or vice versa, right? Maybe it's gonna be a chance encounter. Maybe it already happened, right? But that's pretty interesting. So love is in the air for Taurus. As I split the deck, no, but it feels like that's funny that I split the deck to exactly the same thing as Aries. So, um, yeah, maybe you're a Aries cusper, because when I split the deck, it was the same world and the lovers were right there, but I didn't exactly shuffle it after the Aries breeding. So let me see. Okay. Hmm. Interesting. So that's interesting. I didn't expect that. Ah, okay. Maybe I did. Okay, so in the past, yeah, similar to Gemini. Also, maybe you're a Gemini cusper, right? Taurus cusp with Gemini. Maybe you also dealt with somebody. Maybe you got Gemini heavy in your chart. Maybe It's funny that they're both the throat chakra. So maybe you dealt with some in the past, right? People win at all costs kind of things. You had to cut people off and go into a whole little death and rebirth kind of thing. For me, the Four of Swords, I always think of it like a mini death and rebirth, right? Like you didn't have to. It's not at man. I'm getting chills everywhere. That's crazy. It's not as like big as the death card, right? Or the tower, but it's like for yourself. Ah, yeah, it's almost like choosing, right? Like you chose to go through a death and rebirth. So you're like, you know what? I'm gonna, it's like a hermit mode, but a little more, right? With the really taking the time, right? Getting your little casket and be like, all right, I'm gonna take this time. And so in the past, that's what it was, right? I feel like you made choices. You're a lot more certain of the path you're walking, right? Maybe, and there you are, Taurus. So maybe you did focus on work, right? That was kind of what you chose. And that's an Aries card. So again, maybe you are a cusper. Um, yeah. I think you got very clear, right? When you decided to kind of go through a little death and rebirth initiated by yourself, you you got a lot clearer on what you want, right? Like holding the world in your hands. And work, yeah, work probably even made you feel a lot more stable, right? Like you realize, like, I don't need to be dealing with these other things. I feel secure, right? With the solar plexus, it made you feel confident knowing, like, you know what? I don't need to deal with this stuff. I'm okay working. I don't need anything from anybody, right? And that gave you some kind of security. Wow. Yeah. So in the past, I feel like, yeah, you dealt with someone just like this energy, right? The win at all costs. You dealt with someone that was very reckless with the way they spoke, right? Just very immature energy, right? Win at all costs. No plucks about how you felt, right? Yeah, Ten of Swords and that. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Wow. But yeah, it looks like because of that, you just focused on work and yeah, right? Like now you feel like the world is in the palm of your hands. What do you want to do? And look at what's coming in for you with the blue moon now. Love, right? Love is all around. The goddess of love, romance. So wow, this feels very spirit guided, right? Like and Aphrodite. Yeah, maybe you might want to send her a thank you, right? Be like, hey, you know, put out something for her, right? Like, wow. Wow, yeah. I had said like the tower. So maybe that was a tower moment, right? It was a tower moment that happened because maybe you weren't getting it. So maybe the tower hit, then you went into the Four of Swords, right? Then you were like, all right, I need to really just, yeah, that's pretty interesting, right? But it was meant, right? Because, yeah, you were dealing with something that wasn't good at all, right? Ten of Swords. Someone that stuck 10 swords in your back, one wasn't enough, two wasn't enough, three wasn't enough, right? They had to stick all 10 swords in your back, right? But now you're starting a whole new journey, right? Right? That's why all that confidence, right? That solar plexus, and then the full scream solar plexus energy, right? Everything yellow, yellow boots, right? Like, or socks, or whatever. Like, I love that, right? So, ah, interesting. Even that sun almost looks like a portal, right? Like it's not yellow. In this case, everything else is yellow and not the sun. That's pretty interesting. I don't know. That never really jumped out at me. Like, like even the energy around you is shining more than the sun's energy. That's interesting. I don't know. That's pretty interesting. Zeros are thought like to be like you're in that God creative energy, right? With the zero, which is, endings and beginnings, like everything, right? You have that creator energy with you right now. Oh, the crown chakra too. So that's pretty interesting. Anything you want to create right now is a good time, right? And it looks like you might have love on the brain. So maybe that's why it comes in, right? Love is all around. So if you haven't already, I'm sure there might be a chance encounter, right? Ah, seashells might be significant. Look at that. Interesting. Maybe by the beach. What did I just hear? I heard something with the beach. Ah, okay. Okay. All right. So on that note, let me go to the next. So hopefully that helps, Taurus. Um, it feels like love is something that might be your kind of seemingly out of nowhere situation too, right? So who else got that? I don't know. Okay. So Taurus, Gemini already did Gemini, Cancer, right? Let's see. What's kind of the blue moon energy for Cancer? Oh man, I was gonna be using this other deck. I completely forgot. That's all good. That one's probably more. I feel like, oh wow. So this is, right? People get these tattoos for luck. The koi fish. There's always enough. 36. So 36 might be significant. Koi fish, right? Maybe it's a lucky time right now. 36, 9. Oh, I forgot to say the numbers for the other one. That's fine. Koi fish. So, okay. There is always enough. So I don't know. Maybe you had been feeling like, I don't know, maybe left out or stuff like that, right? But there's always enough. And my gut, my solar plexus is lighting up as I'm saying that. So I don't know. If you were having trouble, maybe you're gonna be feeling more confident in who you are. That's weird. Like that, my plexus is feeling good right now. So I don't know. Very full, like glowing. So I don't know. Wow, that one, nothing wanted to come. Ah, wild heart. Wow. So maybe that gives you that confidence, right, Cancer? Like being brave enough, like almost like that fool's energy, right? Being able to like take risks, but not like, yeah, just having the courage to follow your heart and feeling protected, right? So maybe you might want to look into Scotty. I mean, yeah, this is someone that's fearless, right? Maybe you're in that energy right now, Cancer, like fearless, right? Yeah, I like that. So like being divinely protected by Scotty, right? Hmm. Capricorn, the boss. Okay. So maybe that has to do with it, right? Maybe you're doing something to be your own boss and it feels like it's gonna feel very lucky, right? Maybe you're gonna hit the ground running with it, right? Sometimes people struggle, right? Doing starting their own business and they have to go through a couple years of um trying to figure out how to make it work. But with you, maybe you're gonna start and it's just gonna take off, right? It's just gonna be a lucky time, especially if you're starting right now. That's gonna be interesting. Serious, authoritative, ambitious, realistic, structured, traditional, wise, enduring, accomplished, badass, majestic, competent, prepared, down to earth, corporate, reserved, rigid, disciplined. Capricorn, the boss. Okay, so let's see what else for Capricorn. Wow, maybe you have Capricorn in your chart. Cap for Cancer. What else for Cancer? So yeah, maybe you had to walk away from something. There's that solar plexus. See, maybe something you walked away from, maybe a job, a relationship, it had affected your solar plexus. And right now, right as I started this reading, the solar plexus felt very healthy. So maybe that's part of it, right? A very healthy solar plexus after, yeah, see new opportunities. There's the financial thing, right? Look at all that solar plexus energy, right? That's a lot of yellow. Maybe you have Virgo in your chart. Maybe you're gonna go into business with a Virgo. Hmm. You're gonna feel very rooted, right? There's that Capricorn energy, right? Because wait, is Capricorn the root chakra? I don't know why that made me think of that. Well, a lot of Earth energy, right? Maybe that's something you need, Cancer, right? Yeah, maybe you were too much. Maybe you had you're a Gemini cusper. Maybe you were. Oh, I got a bad. I don't know. Something happened that made you get up in your head in the past. I feel like ah, maybe it was a relationship, something you had to walk away from. Because I felt this thing in the heart area, or maybe it broke your heart. To yeah, if it was a job thing, maybe that actually broke your heart walking away from a job. But even that, right? They're both mutable signs, right? Gemini, Pisces. So maybe you were in a little more kind of scattered energy, right? Air, water. And so right now, tapping into a lot of earth energy is helping you ground, right? Helping you stay rooted. Virgo, Capricorn, right? So maybe that's why. But I feel like, yeah, it's a lucky time, right? The first thing that came out was the koi fish. So, yeah, see that water energy. Again, that solar plexus kind of scattered. This was a scattered energy, right? Seven of Cups. Not being able to make choices, right? Hmm. Okay. Last one. I feel like you walked away from conflict, right? It was for you, it was easier to just that's why that eight of you know, the eight of cups, right? Things that were keeping you up at night, drama, right? The five of wands came out. But there could still be a chance of things trying to return, right? With the seven of wands, but it feels like see, look at that's that healthy solar plexus again. Like I feel like now we're in the past, right? I mean, you made the choice, right? Seven of Cups, you were in your head too much, and then with the Eight of Cups, you finally walked away. You made the choice. But yeah, I mean, there was a lot of sleepless nights, whether before or after making the choice or both. Okay, I got chills with this. So I feel like there was just a lot of conflict. Whatever you walked away from, right? Maybe you were in a toxic relationship, toxic work environment. And so now when things from the past try to come back in, I feel like you just need to stand your ground with whatever choice you made, right? If you made a choice to walk away from something, then draw that line in the sand, right? That's kind of what I'm feeling. Yeah, don't go back to things that you already know were no good for you, right? So, other than that, I think that it's gonna maybe be a lucky time with whatever choice you made is gonna end up panning out, right? If you ended up leaving a job to look for a new job or to start your own business or different things like that, I feel like that's gonna be a good thing, right? So maybe tapping into some earth energy, right? Yeah. Skadi, Wild Heart, things like that. So, okay, I got chills with that one. So maybe definitely try to tap into ask Scotty for help, right? Or look her up, right? See what she represents a little more in depth because that one gave me chills when I grabbed that card. So, okay. On that note, let's see Cancer. Who's next after Cancer? Leo, right? All right. So let's see what Leo has to say. Oh, wow. Okay. My throat already got itchy as I mentioned Leo. So, see what's up with Leo. Wow. The vulture. Interesting. Nothing is wasted. And the crown, look at that. 63. 9 might be significant, Leo. 63. Nothing is wasted. Vulture spirit. I like that. Maybe you felt like you had wasted time with something. I don't know. Let's see. Oh, the- wow. Bridget. Inspiration. Maybe. Oh, I like that thing. Interesting. Maybe you'll feel inspired out of nowhere. Look at the little candles on her head. Like you'll feel like you just got these ideas out of nowhere. Kind of reminds me of the Three of Wands, right? Interesting. Inspiration, feeling inspired. Hmm. Maybe that. Maybe you'll revisit something, right? With the vulture, nothing is wasted. Maybe you'll be like, you know what? Um, yeah, let me see how I can make maybe something from the past. You're gonna be like, you know what? I'm gonna give this another go, or just whatever you did, right? There's knowledge you gain from it, even if you feel like nothing came out of it. I just fall through. Thought a card fell through the table. Wow, transformation. Look at there's the vultures again. So the vulture's really speaking to you right now, right? The vulture spirit transformation, right? So I love the vulture. It's the golden purifier, right? That's literally its name, scientific name. And so when you go through a whole death and rebirth, it's kind of like what really cleans up any residual energy, right? If you went through a transformation and you're still kind of stuck or you still feel that residual energy, it'd be like the one that would help you come in and cut any cords or really release the past and complete a full transformation, right? Maybe some crystals are significant to you right now, right? I heard amethyst in my head, so maybe you might want to look into that. Renewal, inner resources, basic instinct, motivation, personal power, evolution, composing, cycles, death, rebirth, subversion, suspicion, obsession, intensity, reckoning, taboos, clearing, extremes. So that's what we got for that. Okay, let's see. A little more detailed. Wow, so maybe you've just been working away too. Man, my gut lit up. But uh-oh. I had a half and half. Ah. Yeah, maybe you're focusing on work because you decided to head towards calmer waters. Something wasn't working out the way you thought it was. Interesting. That's funny, yeah, because I had this good gut feeling and then I felt, okay, let's see. Wow, I got really sleepy all of a sudden. So I don't know if you've been feeling tired. It just hit me like woof. But the funny thing is, action came out. So I don't know if maybe you burned yourself out. You've been taking action, but I almost felt when I first got this that you're supposed to take action. Oh, interesting. I felt pain right here in like, the masculine side. So have you been feeling burdened? Like maybe, I don't know. Let's see. That was weird wow. That's interesting. What in the world is going on here? Yeah, see, look at what did I say with this overburden and there's that 10 of wands. Maybe you feel like you've been doing a lot and you haven't been getting like getting your worth or getting what you deserve for what you've been putting in, right? Maybe that's something you're taking up with the universe. Like, hey, okay, so why did the 7 of Pentacles come out then? Because this is like seeing results. So I don't know if this is what they're showing you now, right? Like Things are finally gonna pay off. Maybe there were things you needed to cut off still, right? With that vulture energy. Maybe there were things, like sometimes, for example, the universe, we can be in certain connections that the universe won't bless us because it's like it's waiting for you to release those things. And as I'm saying it, I feel like this being relieved and relieved. So it's kind of like, wow, my nose is itching like crazy all of a sudden. So, yeah, maybe that's what it is. Once you get rid of, so really tap into that vulture energy to really give yourself a renewal and get rid of that energy from the past. And yeah, it'll be like new inspiration, new passion comes in, right? Oh, and there's that Sagittarius energy, right? So maybe that's gonna be the once in a blue moon kind of energy where taking advantage of this moon is gonna feel like yeah, maybe you've been feeling overburdened, like, hey, nothing's working out. I put in all this work. I'm not getting what I feel I should be getting. And it's gonna feel, wow, look at see. I feel like it is gonna end up being abundant. You might not see it yet, but this is that time, right? Or maybe if you've been trying to let go of something and it feels like nothing's working, while this blue moon is gonna help with that, right? I could hear the doves doing the little. Oh, they make that weird sound. The ooh, ooh. It almost sounds like an owl, right? So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, because the owl sees what you can't see, right? So maybe that's kind of the message. So it feels like this is. Oh, I got chills everywhere, right? So I feel like that's probably right for some of you Leos. That's what you've been going through. Maybe feeling like, yeah, nothing, right? Overburdened, overworked, like you're not getting what for all the work you put in, right? But I feel like things are gonna change. It's gonna be an abundant time, right? But I think that's the important message. You had to release things, right? So tap into that vulture energy to help you cleanse off, right? If you had things from the past that, yeah, that you felt overburdened with, that's the message. Yeah. It wasn't as crazy as which one was it? Taurus, right? That was really like, yeah, like a really toxic past situation, right? I don't know. Okay, but anyways, yeah, it was definitely something from the past that was still lingering, right, in your mind or something that yeah. So anyways, okay. I'll end it with that. So now we'll go into Virgo. Yeah, it feels like a lot of like blue moon kind of miracles happening, right? Let's see. Leo. Okay, so I finished Leo going into Virgo. Hey, Grace. Oh, beautiful. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Oh, wow, that one just flew out. Yeah, I hope you're doing well. Yeah, let the celebration begin. Thank you for tuning in. Um, Fox Spirit for Virgo, Fox Spirit. Think on your feet. The Fox Spirit sometimes has, nah, I don't feel, well, it can be kind of trickster energy, right? The Fox, right? The Fox is all about kind of serving its own purpose a lot of times, right? Right? Like it'll eat someone's eggs and that's pretty brutal. But for you, I mean, it's a good energy. Think on your feet, right? It's like getting what you need to get, right? 27. Wow, a lot of nines today. That's interesting. Wow, and I'm just gonna say it because it's funny that maybe before you were tapped into your the cat came out in reverse. So maybe right now you're a little more, I don't know, the fox is masculine energy, but the fact that I don't know, it's weird that the cat came out in reverse there. Maybe right now you're in a kind of doing right more action as opposed to trusting your intuition and all that. You're kind of more. That's why thinking on your feet, right? Because you're just going, you're doing stuff. So you're just thinking on your feet. Maybe you're tapping in a little more. Virgos are very smart. So maybe you're tapping in a little more to your logic as opposed to your intuition. That's interesting. Okay. So let's see what is that going to be good for you or 'cause that's interesting. Whoa. God. That's crazy. That hasn't happened with. Whoa. Interesting. So that might not be the best thing. So this one, right? La Sol Teot is purification, right? They say like you can tap into or ask La Sol Teot like once in your lifetime, I believe, right? It's almost like, hey, it's like a death and rebirth. Like she swallows up all the filth, the what people would call sins, right? But the filth, right? Anything you feel like that you're carrying, right? And it's like having a death and rebirth. Um, but fear came out. So I don't know if that's your energy. Like that's why you're not trusting your intuition because you're just being more reactive, right? Thinking on your feet, like, no, I gotta do this, right? Whether it's for finances or this or that, where it's even like not. I don't want to say cutthroat energy, but that's what popped in my head. That's why, like, when I said right, like a fox would steal someone's eggs and poor other animals, right? Like stuff like that, right? It's that kind of mischievous thing. Wow, my nose is itching again. Hmm, interesting. But maybe that's the thing, right? The once in a blue. Maybe you've been wanting a new. If you've been acting, reacting in fear, maybe tapping into that, right? The tlazolteotl is like right? Like maybe you've been praying for like, oh, I want a new death and rebirth. You feel like unforgiven almost. You feel like, and it's gonna be like, who knows? Maybe an angel will literally appear or a spirit guide and be like, hey, this is your new start, right? It's funny that Dear Woman came out. I wonder why retribution. Hmm. I feel like with you there might be some past life stuff, so maybe look into that, Virgo. I know you understand all that, so I don't know. It's weird. Maybe there's something that you had to pay back, Virgo, and by some miracle, maybe this is your one opportunity where all might be forgiven, right? I don't know. With La Solteotl, it's like that. Someone stepping in to eat the filth for you, right? Because that's big time, right? Like they say in the traditional sense, they say I think you could only call on La Solteotl once, right? In your lifetime, right? Interesting. That's interesting. That's an interesting energy. Let's see. So maybe that's the blue moon thing, right? Like all debts being paid kind of thing. Having a chance at a yeah. all debts being paid. You know, like even in the biblical sense, right? In the old, I don't know, with like the Old Testament or whatever, right? It was like if someone owed, it's not like now where they'll let you, you know, forever, right? Every 7 years, it's like they renewed your debt, right? So in the old times, they actually did that, right? Where something wasn't carried, you didn't have to have that hanging over you for the rest of your life, right? Until you did it. Oh wow! So opportunity, right? There it is, right? Once in a blue moon opportunity. Maybe a chance to paint a whole new canvas, right? Like start fresh. That's beautiful. I mean, collaborates, assists, explains, provides opportunity, synergizes, creates possibilities, for opens doors, promises, brings insight to, communicates, welcomes, develops. So definitely a new opportunity, like, and it's gonna feel very yeah, like a miracle, basically, you know. Interesting. Very interesting. And as I was getting ready to shuffle the deck, there you are, the Virgo, right? Hermit. Hey, Foster Town. Ah, yeah, absolutely. Hey, Poppy Cave. Yeah, no worries. You know, you could always rewind it, so it's all good. I'll put timestamps after, of course. Wow, look at that. Virgo. Wow. See, because at first I was like, man, everyone else has been kind of fluffy, but man, 10 of Cups. So I'm glad that, see, miracles happen, right? Yeah, that's crazy. See, so maybe you really do need to, hey, ask, you know? I know it's different cultures, right? Not everybody is, but hey, you know, maybe asking la solteo, you know, giving a little offering and being like, hey, this is I'm using that wild card, right? I'm using my once in a lifetime, once per incarnation, like cleanse away all the stuff, you know? If you've been having something hanging over you throughout your life and you're like, I'm beyond redemption or I'm beyond this or that or you know, it's like the guides, your spirit guides, your ancestors, everyone's telling you no, you even you get a second chance, right? If anyone feels like everyone is deserving of a second chance at some point, right? So interesting. 10 of Cups, right? You could have your 10 of Cups. Interesting. Hold on, I'm feeling this interesting thing. Let me see what it means real quick because I haven't felt that before. Positive energy. Wow, experiencing good luck or being praised by someone. Interesting. So, hmm. Because I started feeling like a itch, like right here, like some weird. I've never felt that during a reading. So, upcoming success in your career or personal endeavors. So there it is, Virgo. Wow. Once in a blue moon. Wow. So I don't know. I almost feel like I should just end it there to make sure it started so heavy and sunshine and rainbows and 10 of Cups in the sky. Yeah, look at nothing. It's like there, just don't there. Leave it there. Wow. Ace of Swords. That's literal like success, right? And that's literally what the little itchy right cheek told me. So that's beautiful. New plans, new ideas, clear mind, intellectual capacity, putting all your cards on the table. So maybe see it's doing that right first, taking those steps right, coming very humbly and being very humble and asking like, hey, you know what? I made some mistakes, but hey, I'm asking, you know, whatever. If you want to pray to God, right? Pray to God, to whoever you feel But with this energy, I think that's what it's saying, right? Someone listening to your plea and being like, okay, we're gonna wipe it. Maybe it'll happen in this physical reality, right? Like by some, that happened to me once. It was crazy. Uh, I had added my brother onto like I think it was back then with the cell phones, and then he went to Iraq and he had ran up the cell phone bill to like $900 or something, and then I don't even think he paid it off because there was no time for that. Well, no, he couldn't send money. Like he had to send money, and then we would get it from the bank account. But all of a sudden, the bill was just wiped clean, right? I told them, I was like, hey, you know what? This isn't for me, right? So, I have a relative that's overseas, blah blah blah. And then yeah, then I checked and it was just gone, right? Like so, miracles happen like that, right? Maybe someone will literally wipe off a debt for you or something, right? So I don't know. Take it how it resonates, right? Spiritually, in the physical sense, um, stuff like that, right? So success, and that's it, right? I'm not going to my side stories, but that's funny. I hadn't remembered that since then, right? Because I was still a teenager, and I had added him. He had already messed up his credit, and I had to add him to my phone plan, and then he ran up my thing, and I couldn't even pay. I was like, where the hell am I gonna get $900 for the phone bill, right? That's when the phone bills, there was no unlimited calls and stuff. And then I guess yeah, I just called and I told them, and then I think they wiped it off. They just like, boom, they just erased those like yeah, like $900. I was like, what in the world just happened? So, anyways, Capricorn. Okay, I haven't gotten to Capricorn yet, so um, yeah, that's it. Okay, Virgo. So it looks like you're once in a blue moon. It feels pretty positive, right? Like a second chance kind of thing. Second chance. Don't screw it up. For those that it resonates with, right? I don't know. That wasn't really for me. I heard something say that in my head, and then I was like, all right, let me just deliver the message, right? Yeah. I think that goes for any of us, right? When we get second chances, don't screw it up, right? So I'll take that message too, right? Wow. I didn't even say it. Virgo, Libra, right? So for Libra, look at that, the electric eel, and that song popped in my head. Wait, what is it? That electric eel song or something? I forgot, but I think I heard a different song in my head. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know. I forgot how it goes. Bring your ideas to life. Now I want to hear that song. 24. So maybe 24 is significant. 42. 6. Electric eel spirit. Bring your ideas to life. Wow, it almost looked like a whale at first. That's why I got all happy. I was like, oh wow, a whale. But that's still cool. The electric eel. It feels like, right, like getting a spark, right? Bringing your ideas to life. So maybe right now during and it looks like a blue moon. Wow, that's crazy. So maybe right now during this blue moon, it's gonna feel like boom, you're gonna be inspired too, like just this sudden shock, right? Bringing your ideas to life. Mm. Wow, maybe you just coming out of this, right? How do you say that? Kai Kai Leech. Maybe you were feeling tired, you just had a rest. Or maybe while you're resting, right? It's just gonna feel like something just comes in out of nowhere and sparks this idea. So maybe rest is needed right now. Let's see. The electric eel and Kyle Leech. Wow, yeah. So maybe there's a little, healing that needs to take place. Look at Chiron, right? Chiron is the wounded healer, right? Healing powers, growth, amends, release, personal development, inherited issues, self-doubt, generational trauma, shame, sensitivity, forgiveness, superpowers, divinity, cleansing, softness, pain, right? So it's okay to take some time to heal, rest, right? That's what Kali Leech is reminding you. Right? Maybe look her up. Rest. It's okay to rest. That's funny because with the thing on her head, it almost reminds me like of the Jesus, like the crown of thorns, right? Like you don't have to be a martyr, you don't have to overwork yourself, burn yourself out, right? Oh, right. Yeah, I have a lot of Libra friends. They always say how their problem has always been like people pleasing, right? So maybe that you don't have to be like maybe that's part of your healing, right? To yeah. And then yeah, so for yourself, things that you want to do, maybe there's things you always put aside for yourself, right? Things that make you happy, things you really wanted to do. And then so right now during this blue moon, that's gonna be the thing, right? Once you rest, give yourself time to heal, then it's gonna feel like you're gonna bring your ideas to life, right? During that rest. Man, this is it's funny that this card like has a song to it, right? Like every time I pull out, like it comes alive, right? It's like all of a sudden I could see everything moving and I could hear the music. And yeah, I like this card. And it's funny that it has that blue moon thing, or it looks like a blue moon. I did feel a slight pain on the left side, right? So yeah, maybe being overgiving with your feminine side, right? Over nurturing that people pleasing kind of energy. So maybe you need to find balance, right? And you're gonna find it in healing for Libra. What else, right? Wow. Okay, let me see what that. Mm. I feel like this is your energy, right? The Chariot came out with the Four of Pentacles. But in this case, I'm getting it like that, right? Just a reminder that you have the power and strength of free will, right? You don't have to be overgiving. You could communicate, right? Both of them are throat chakra, so communication is very, see, and I feel it kind of like not bad, just a slight kind of struggle to say, but no is a complete sentence, right? Um, so is yes, right? Say yes to yourself. If someone's asking you for a little too much, then you have to give, especially right now, seeing that, yeah, you need a rest, right? You're healing. It's okay to say no, right? You have the power and strength of free will. Maybe right now it is a time to be a little more. I feel like that's your energy, right? That's representative of your energy. Like, nah, I know I got this and maybe I could give it to you, but right now, no, right? That's kind of what I'm getting, right? And with this, right? Yeah, it's all you, right? Like you're really not bound to anything, right? Even that, imagine feeling that you're bound that you have to do something for someone because you created that in your head, right? I don't know, like feeling guilty for saying no, like why? If you're gonna burn yourself out in the process or something, like I don't know, maybe that's something you need to look into if that was embedded in you as a kid or that's just part of your Libra birth chart placement things that you're always trying to help out everybody even if you don't have anything for yourself, right? But that's a big lesson for you. And I could feel something in my heart with that, right? So I don't know if anyone ever made you feel like that, right? Like uh if someone told you that and planted those seeds since you were little, so then you felt like, oh, I'm gonna prove that no, I am helpful or I do help or I'm not greedy. like with your attention or something, right? So that's kind of, and that eight, right? The eight is almost like, yeah, really understanding why you are the way you are, right? The whole karmic cycle completing, right? And look at after that, after you figure it out, bam, nine of pentacles, right? You can have that, right? You can be prosperous. So I feel like there has been, once you figure that out, right? Sometimes this card might give that kind of greedy energy, but not right now, right? Not right now. It's almost like that's what's being asked of you, right? To, I mean, yeah, not give more than what you have, right? You don't have to. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and it leads to this, right? Look at that. I like it. A lot of solar plexus energy, right? Feeling very confident in who you are, even your sacral chakra, right? It's almost like, and then, right, when you're abundant, if you want to give, then give, right? And look at moment of equilibrium. How important is that to a Libra, right? Feeling balance, secure financial freedom. Yeah, that's beautiful. But my throat, I keep feeling the throat. So I think you're going to have to, yeah, just speak up for yourself, right? Don't let anyone make you feel guilty for anything. Yeah, don't let anyone make you feel guilty if you can't. And that's where I'm getting big time chills. So maybe that's something you've been dealing with where someone makes you feel guilty, right? Could be a mom, a significant other, um, yeah, right? Kids even, right? Sometimes, right? You can have kids that just keep asking and asking and asking and haven't learned that, hey, like I don't have it right now. If you could, you would, obviously. But yeah. So, okay, I think that's it for Libra. I think that's the message, right? Yeah, yeah. So don't forget this too, right? That when you allow for yourself to heal, then after, right? When you're prosperous, then you'll be, if you really want to help more people, you'll be able to, right? But in you healing yourself and it's bringing these ideas to life, you're going to be way more prosperous and then you'll be able to help others if that's what you want to do, right? So, okay. So Libra, Scorpio, right? Scorpio. Scorpio, Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. Who's the one that made me sleepy? I think it was Leo, right? There was something with Leo's energy. All right, Scorpio. Once in a blue moon. Wow, Scorpio. Watch and wait. Maybe it's a universe saying, hold my beer kind of moment, right? Like maybe you don't believe that the universe can do the things it says it's going to do. And there's that eight also, right? The 53. So maybe that's significant. 53, 35. Seahorse spirit. Watch and wait. I like this a lot. I don't know why I'm getting this good energy from that. Watch and wait. Interesting. What have you been asking the universe for? Oh, wait. Get this one. Watch and wait. Mm, potential. Interesting. Izanami. Mm, maybe little butterflies. Maybe that's gonna be the sign, right? You're gonna be sitting down or something. A butterfly's gonna come and land on you or next to you, or little butterflies floating around. Interesting. Watch and wait. I keep being drawn to this, so I'm gonna say because this card came out too. Maybe you have been kind of asking for love, right? Because this came out too. The otter spirit. You are never alone. Maybe you're not maybe right. You've been putting too much focus on this material world, thinking like, oh, ooh, I'm feeling it in the heart. So maybe you felt like, oh, I don't have a significant other, or maybe something like that, and you don't realize that you're never alone, and so you know, it could be that too, though, right? Maybe hey, something good is coming, and you just don't realize it, right? With the watch and wait, or it's a watch and wait so you could realize how much the spirit world has your back, your ancestors, creator, everybody, right? Like that's why maybe they want you to really pay attention, right? My whole gut's lighting up. So see all the little signs, right? The little butterflies flying around you, little interesting things, right? Maybe squirrels coming up to you, little things that you're not really paying attention to, right? For some reason, that's kind of what I'm getting with that. Yeah, and as you can see, right? Did I say it or no? That the otters, right? They form a heart, so you could see. That's why I said like, oh, maybe that's kind of the thing, right? I had this card for the longest time, and it had came out, and I had never noticed it was like two otters together, right? So I was like, oh wow, that's pretty interesting. Okay, otter spirit. Whoa, interesting, interesting. Yeah, breakthroughs, right? So maybe it's gonna feel very miraculous, right? Lightning striking down the little flies, maybe things, right? Maybe things haven't felt harmonious, and that's why it's like a watch and wait kind of thing. Revolution, breakthroughs, brainstorming, originality, insight, awakening, technology, innovation, humanitarianism, reform, surprise, right? So, surprise, freedom. Maybe something fell apart, but it was meant for you to be able to feel freedom, right? To be free. Maybe you'll realize, like, wow, this freedom is actually better than whatever I was kind of stuck in, right? Freedom, experimentation, the unexpected rupture edge, diversity, lightning. I was actually praying for like a lightning strike yesterday because it started raining unexpectedly. And I was looking up and I was like, oh, come on, give me some lightning. So I guess, yeah, let me know I guess maybe they'll give it to you, Scorpio. So let me know if you see some lightning. Um, hey, Sylvia, blessings to you too. Hope all is well. Let me see. Okay. So for Scorpio, what else? What else? Wow. See, so starting a new journey with your yellow boots. Yep. So yeah, maybe you just haven't seen the big picture of something that happened, right? Maybe something, right? Because this kind of reminds me of the tower too, right? With the lightning striking. Maybe something had to happen. Uranus. Wow, isn't something right now in Uranus? Or whatever, however you say Uranus, Uranus. Um, yeah, it just right. Or was that the big thing right now? Or Neptune or Uranus? I don't know. Uranus, Uranus. Let me see. So the Fool, wow. So a whole new journey has started. Watch and wait. Hmm. Watch and wait. Hmm. Wow, that's interesting. Hmm. Maybe all these opportunities are gonna be coming in. That's interesting. Could look at you got this came out just like that with this, like the Two of Pentacles in between the King of Swords and the Emperor. This could be your energy, but it could be like opportunities as well. Hmm. And then the High Priestess came out. So that's definitely your energy, right? Being in this I feel like you'll be able to know regardless what situation comes in for you, which you are gonna have different opportunities, you're gonna know what's the best for you, right? With the High Priestess. Maybe that, right? In the past, right? You were even though you would think the Emperor, right? The Emperor is at the top, right? I think someone said before the Emperor is like all the kings combined or something like that. But maybe there was something in the Emperor energy that had you confined before, right? It's funny that the King of Swords and the High Priestess have the third eye, right? And the wow, even this one is the third eye. So maybe now being able to see, like, it's kind of like not everything that glitters is gold. Not everything. Maybe this situation was more like constricting, right? You didn't have the freedom. Sometimes things might have that illusion, like, oh, this is the more stable thing, but there's a price to pay for that, right? I don't know why that's coming in. That's kind of what. But with the High Priestess, I feel like no matter what, whatever things have happened so that you're more aware now, right? You know how to trust your intuition. Maybe that's part of the watch and wait. Like you have no idea how much you've grown yourself, like everything you gained because of all the things you went through. Ah, see, maybe that's why you've been in this energy, right? There you are, Scorpio. Maybe you don't see it yet. That's why the watch and wait, right? Hmm. Don't be, don't be over here like crying over the past spilled cups, right? So, yeah, I think that's kind of the whole watch and wait message, right? Like you have no idea um how much you've grown or learned, maybe you know but you don't know cuz you haven't seen it, or maybe a past situation you don't realize how much you dodged the bullet, right? Maybe you don't see that you were around something, right? It was all lies, whether you lied to yourself, you made yourself believe something that wasn't, or maybe you were around something that was never going to end up good for you, and right? So take that how it resonates. Watching, wait, my whole gut lit up with that. So I feel like, yeah, that's part of the a tower came crashing because I almost want to say I hope that's not what you were kind of hoping for, like hoping that the spirit world would magically reunite you with something from the past that had this kind of energy. I feel like my gut's lighting up with that. Wow. So maybe some of you were hoping for like an old connection that wasn't good for you. And so that's why they're telling you watch and wait. That's pretty interesting. That's what my gut lit up like a Christmas tree with that message. So I think for some of you, yeah, maybe you were right, kind of, but it'll all make sense after. It'll all make sense. It always does. That's what they told me. So, okay. All right. On that note, let's see who's next. Scorpio, Sagittarius. All right. So let's see what I was just thinking, like, why was that once in a blue moon? Maybe because it doesn't always make sense, but this time it is or something for Scorpio, going back to Scorpio. Maybe that was kind of like the once in a blue moon kind of thing. Like everything's gonna make sense. So, okay. Um, Sagittarius, right? So Sagittarius. Yeah, so it's your moon, Sagittarius. So let's see. I almost feel like for you it should be all like, I don't know, like a magical time, especially, right? For Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius. Wow, I love the skunk. Know your worth, right? So the skunk is fearless, right? Like you could look up on YouTube the skunk going head up with a bear, and then the bear runs. So I love the skunk, right? Know your worth. So I don't know. If you haven't been knowing your worth, then tap into that skunk energy. And there's that nine again. Wow, what is up with the nines? So many today have added up to nine. I think last time I think it was eight. Everything was adding up to eight. This time it's nine. Oh, but there's the progression, right? I think literally the last reading I did for the all signs, the dice at the end, every that I was doing of every sign, it was like a lot of them were adding up to eight. Now a lot of them are adding up to nine. So that's crazy. But it's going up, right? So progression, skunk spirit, know your worth. All right, Sagittarius. So know your worth. Have you not been knowing your worth or what? Interesting that this came out again. Who did this come out for? Bastet Sanctuary. I forgot who this came up for. I think it was Aries. Skunk. Bastet. Hmm. I don't know what that other sign is. I know the Ankh, right? That's the Ankh. Ankh and skunk. Wow, that's crazy. Because I remember when I was seeing like I saw a dead skunk, right? And I kept seeing them, and I think I found this person that was my first time looking into what does the dead animals mean, right? And then yeah, there was a whole thing, but it was a skunk, and they talked about how the skunk and unk, the unk or however you say it, and there it is. Wow. So look into the symbolism, right, for the unk. That might be significant for you right now, Sagittarius. Watch, let me. Nah, let me see. I don't know. I don't wanna, cause then I sidetrack and then. Oh, it means life or the breath of life. Wow. Maybe breathing might be important to you right now, right? Maybe doing some breath work. Sanctuary. Maybe you've been feeling unsafe. Maybe you've been getting anxiety, Sagittarius. Interesting. Hmm. All right. Wow, communication. Interesting. That looks like the blue moon too, so that's funny that that came out. Words, thoughts, analysis, information, learning, trade, ideas, smarts, reporting, awareness, vision, lens, palette, perception, curiosity, narrative, muse, wonder. So what I got right away was like also be careful with the words you say to yourself, right? Like, we forget that each breath is literally life, right? Every single breath that we're taking is life, right? So, where was I even going with that? I don't even know. Oh, your words too, right? You're creating your reality. So be careful with what you say to yourself, right? Don't speak negative to yourself, right? Maybe you've been saying things and you're creating that anxiety, right? With what you say, what you watch, right? Be careful with the things you're watching, right? If you're watching like the doom scrolling things, right? If you're into like like watching all the crazy stuff, wow, hangman. Maybe you've been feeling stuck right now. That's giving you anxiety, but with the hangman, it's always like whether that's coming or it already did, it's like having the light bulb moment, right? So something made sense for some reason. Wow. Hmm. So maybe there was conflict, right? Maybe there was conflict in the past, but the chariot came out, so obviously you have the power and strength of free will. And look at with the throat, maybe that was giving you anxiety. So it's as simple as, yeah, communicating. No, I don't want that, or yes, I do want this, right? And that's what had came out too, right? The Mercury communication, and then there it is again. Communication, communication, throat chakra, right? So, keeping your boundaries up, right? If setting boundaries and sticking to them, this is like the epitome of boundaries, right? The skunk. You ain't messing with the skunk unless you want to get sprayed. And that's why the bear even knows, right? Big old bear will come up to a skunk and the skunk just lifts up its little tail and it's like, you really want to mess around and find out? And the bear usually doesn't, right? 9 times out of 10, or maybe 10 times out of 10, unless they don't know, right? If the bear doesn't know, then they just might try the skunk, right? But so communication, right? Communication, very important right now for you, Sagittarius. And I feel like once you figure this out, it's about being in this Empress energy, right? So if you haven't started this or stepped into this energy, I feel like that's kind of what the advice, right, being given to you, right? And then out of nowhere, things are going to start coming in. But allow for that, right? Allow for things to come in towards you, right? The Empress. I mean, yeah, it doesn't, I mean, it's just what better energy to be in, right? Feminine energy, it says, beauty, femininity, sensuality, fertility, right? So obviously be careful, right? When things come in, if you don't want to get knocked up or if you don't want to knock somebody up, however. But it feels like it's going to be a harmonious time. But I think for you, the lesson was to set those boundaries. You had to learn how to set boundaries, right? And almost like wait for what you deserve, really. Don't be settling for other things that cause drama, right? Who wants to deal with that? Egos, right? Yeah, that's insane, right? Like, I don't know. But yeah. So anyways, I could go into a whole thing about that, right? But I'm not. So anyways, I think yeah, for you, Sagittarius, maybe that's gonna be the trust, right? And it's gonna seem out of nowhere for this blue moon, right? Once you finally step into that Empress energy, I think things are just gonna start coming towards you, right? But that's usually what the Empress is anyways, right? Like things just come to you. You're like a magnet for all the good stuff, right? And my gut's lighting up with that. So I think that's the main message for you, that once you learn to communicate your boundaries, like if you why would you yeah, if you don't want drama, it's no, right? I don't know. Someone wants to argue with you, no. Or block or whatever, right? Like I'm not answering your calls, I'm gonna block you, I'm gonna walk away from this. No, right? So it's that simple. And then for you to step into this Empress energy, and then comes a time of abundance, right? Things are gonna just gravitate towards you, right? So that makes perfect sense. Okay, so that's it for Sagittarius. Capricorn. All right. Capricorn. All right, we're getting there. We're getting there. Capricorn. What time is it? Okay. Yeah, I got time. I got time. I got time. Okay. So Capricorn. Okay, Capricorn. Wow. This is like my favorite. Not like, yeah, I don't want, yeah, but anyways, the Bobcat spirit, right? So maybe you're being very tapped in right now, right? This is like the shaman's totem, right? So maybe right now you're tapping in a lot. The eight. Interesting. Bobcat spirit. Life is a mystery. Maybe right now you're in a curious time, right? Maybe during, cause yeah, like even for me during this leading up to this full moon, I'm already experiencing a lot of things, right? Especially dreams and all that. Bobcat spirit. So Capricorn, obviously you could let me know if that's happening for you right now. Bobcat spirit. Life is a mystery. Whoa. Kali. Oh my God. Kali's like, that's funny. I don't even think I have Capricorn in my chart because all this stuff I resonate with for sure. Kali is like, that's like one of the first deities that appeared to me. I didn't even know who she was. But Kali is the breaker of obstacles, right? I know it says destruction. I don't know why destruction, but maybe just, yeah, maybe tearing down things that no longer serve you, if anything. But when I look at Kali, I think the breaker of obstacles, right? Anything you're having trouble with, Kali will help you, I guess, tear that down, right? Tear that blank down. So I love Kali, right? Kali, um, oh, she came, yeah, recently, right? I think I made a video that she came back to me. I hadn't seen her like in 2 years because the when she came to me, I kind of turned her away because I didn't know who she was. I was like, yeah, I don't, thank you, but no thank you. And then, yeah. So, anyways, I love Kali. So if you're having trouble right now with any kind of obstacles, they're not obstacles to Kali, right? So, yeah, Kali. And that kind of fits, right? Because even Capricorn energy is very like the goat, right? Climbing to the top. Like there really isn't an obstacle, right? It's having like a relentless, Capricorns are very good, right? With work and all that stuff. They'll keep at it, right? I don't think they're quitters at all, right? Or at least any of the Capricorns I could think of. Whoa, that one just flew out. Feelings. Oh, so that's interesting. And right now are you in your feelings, Capricorn? Interesting. With the moon. Wow, with the moon. Interesting. Instinct, nurturing, gut reactions, comfort, digestion, home, family, conditioning habits, femininity. Lineage, privacy, embodiment, emotion, sustenance, self-soothing, moods, mother. So maybe right now you're tapping more into your, well, I mean, yeah, the bobcat, right? Feminine, right? The cat is feminine energy, but I don't know. This bobcat has that masculine energy to it, so I don't know. Maybe there's a balance right now. I mean, Kali, right, is more. That's interesting too, right? Because Kali, I mean, it's a feminine energy, but it can also be very like masculine too. Interesting. Okay, so this is interesting so far. Very interesting. So let's see what else. Capricorn. What is this blue moon Oh wow. So there it is. Right as I'm asking, what's up with the blue moon? The star. So maybe something's gonna, yeah. Maybe you're stepping into your star energy. Maybe you're gonna be in the spotlight, you know? However that may look, right? Posting a video that goes viral, if you're in the arts, something, gains attention, right? If you're a songwriter, if you're a actor, actress, something that seems to come in out of nowhere, right? I found a slight pain on the feminine side. So what is it? Maybe you're gonna have to balance it out. Maybe that's why everything felt like masculine, feminine, because maybe you do have to lean a little towards, like, if you're too much in your feminine energy, right? The moon feelings. Yeah. That makes sense. So maybe you're a little too much, which is fine, right? If it comes up, maybe you need to purge something, right? If you're too much, like if there's a wound there or something that you need, if it comes back, it's because it's meant to be looked at, right? So maybe you can release it. So maybe that's the good thing about this moon. If it pulls something out of you, wow, yeah, see? So maybe there's something you have to release, right? Stuck on something that happened, right? Maybe sometimes you feel like, what's the use in trying something because you're remembering that something didn't work out in the past, but you're restricting yourself. Hmm. Yeah, and with that, it feels like that pain went away. So that's kind of where that pain, there's a wound there with the feminine side, right? So whatever happened that affected your feminine side, right? Which, if you look at it, right, that's the Empress energy of receiving, right? Like receiving. So obviously, if your feminine side has, these wounds and all this and that, you're not gonna be in that receptive energy too, right? So maybe for you, part of the miracle of the blue moon is like helping you, bringing something back to the surface so you could heal from it, and then just like that, when you heal from it, it'll feel like out of nowhere, bam, you step into that spotlight that you're meant to be in anyways. But yeah, imagine, it's almost like, imagine if like the universe knows, right? Or your higher self, or where your guides, ancestors, like if they put you in a spot that you're not ready for, then you might just fumble it, right? So they want to wait till you're nice and healed or ready to accept that responsibility, and then it comes in. Wow, look at success. So it couldn't be clearer than that. I don't think I need to pull anything else, right? So the breaker of obstacles, that's where Kali comes in, right? So whether you need um help healing, right? Or things like that, or because Kali, right? She's very gentle, but when it came time to, right, she's destroyed anything that got in her way, right? And that's what they called on her for, right? Um, the legend is that, right, there was a demon that was, I think destroying everything, and yeah, none of the other gods could deal with it, so they called on Kali. And Kali actually came from another goddess, but that was like the right that force, right? The I don't want to say like the dark force of it, but it was like yeah, the like no plugs given kind of energy that and Kali was the one that came through, right? So, anyways, yeah, yeah, I think it made sense, right? Success, right? So once all that, heal whatever you need to heal, you got plenty of help, right? I mean, there's a lot of things. The bobcat sometimes, right? It can mean being unbalanced because but obviously, right? Because the bobcat, when it shows itself to you, it's because it wanted you to see it, right? Because it is one of the most stealthy hunters and everything. So every time I've seen it out in nature, like I feel blessed, right? Because I'm like, wow, okay, you let me see you. Like you came out because if it doesn't want you to see it, it won't. You won't see it, right? So, um, yeah. And because of the short tail, right? Sometimes if you're in that energy, it'll be like, oh, because the long tail is used for balance. So with the short tail, it could be like, oh, you're feeling unbalanced right now, right? So yeah, or even that, right? Imagine the bobcat with his short tail can balance things out. So let it teach you how to balance, right? That feminine, masculine energy, stuff like that, right? So okay, I could keep going with that. Because I love all the symbolism with the bobcat. I love all the symbolism with Kali. So I could keep talking about that, but I think you get the message. So Capricorn, Aquarius, right? Yeah, Aquarius. I think that's it. Aquarius and then Pisces, and then that's it, right? Hopefully I didn't miss nothing. I don't think I did. Okay, so Aquarius, the miracles of the blue moon. Wow. I don't know why this feels very Aquarius. But yeah, I mean, bam, straight up. Rabbit spirit, now is a lucky time. Oh, what? Have I ever noticed the little bunnies? I don't even know. That's funny, but look at you're even over here making your own little wings out of leaves. That's pretty interesting. 49 might be significant, right? 13. So maybe there's a death and rebirth, right? With the 13, which is usually the death card, right? I mean, that 9 keeps appearing, even though this is, right? Like 9 and 4 is 13, which is 4. Maybe you have two little ones. Maybe you're expecting twins. I don't know. Now is a lucky time. Okay, so let's see. Ah, look at what came out under. Even though this wasn't the bear maiden appearance, and there's the number 9. So take time out, right? I wasn't gonna, but yeah, since it had that 9, I was like, huh, that's so funny. Yeah, so maybe a lot of endings for the collective, right? So Aquarius, now is a lucky time. What? Again? I know I shuffled this deck. That's crazy. Again, Sanctuary. Ah, take time out. Okay. That makes sense with this. So maybe for you too right now. Man, but I know I shuffled this thing. So now it makes me okay. I'm gonna give you one more just because I mean it makes sense though with the even this, right? Take time out. Why? Take time out. I'm gonna pull one more though, just because. I'm gonna give it an extra shuffle because that's crazy. Whenever it keeps, I know. I mean, it's a collective energy, so obviously similar things are gonna be coming out. But it's just sometimes it trips me out so much. Oh wow, righteous anger. So maybe if you have been feeling, maybe that's why you're supposed to take time out, right? Don't like Don't do something that then later on you're gonna be like, oh man, I should have thought that through, or I was just angry or something. So maybe that's important. Righteous anger, the Morrigan. Usually this means like, hey, right? Like it's okay. It's like people that go to protest, but there's a reason for it, right? Or taking on a cause that matters, right? And we see the way the world is. There's so many things that like the last interview I did, right? All the things that had happened to that guest that I just interviewed the last podcast episode I did, right? And it just shows you that how many things happen in this world that a lot of times, not that we're ignorant to, or but if they don't cross in front of us, we don't realize, right? So it's okay to take on causes and want to help and stuff, right? Okay, so anyways, yeah, so now is a lucky time. Let's see what else about. So even though it's a lucky time, it is like things are asking you to take time out. Pisces, wow. So maybe you're a Pisces cusper, the mystic. Ah, interesting. Maybe they're asking you to take time out to tap in, right? Imaginative, compassionate, healing, empathetic, mystical, adoring, magical, allowing, dreamy, ephemeral, enigmatic, spiritual, emotional, escapist, impractical, oceanic, self-pitying, illogical. So obviously it says the negative things too, or the not so positive things to watch out for, right? When you're in that energy. I don't feel anything negative right now, obviously, right? With now is a lucky time. So maybe you're a cusper with Pisces. They're asking you to tap into that mystic side of yourself, Aquarius. I mean, Aquarius is already tapped into, but maybe you have that extra intuition with that Pisces. Maybe you're a cusper, like I said. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. Wow. Okay. So this doesn't always jump out at me, but it says, right, the path you take in life will depend on you, right? So maybe that's why they're telling you it's a lucky time. So make sure you make the right choice, right? And it feels like there's a divine guidance. There was like a death and rebirth, right? With the little characters jumping out of the caskets, right? A new life completely, right? Getting the chance at a new life after this, right? After maybe finishing a cycle where you got 10, 10 swords stuck in your back. There was conflict, right? You didn't feel rooted in that situation. You felt like you didn't have a voice in that situation, right? And that's why it's a lucky time because you don't have to deal with that anymore, right? Like a whole little death and rebirth jumping out of the casket. So that's pretty. Hey, internal intentions. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Let me see. Cat. What is it? Cat? Cat and Marie. Yeah, I already did Aries. That was the second one I did, I believe. So I'll put all the timestamps after. So let's see. What else for Aquarius? Wow, now is a lucky time. Wow. There's that Pisces again, right? Wow, maybe you'll be connecting with a Pisces, or like I said, maybe you have Pisces in your chart, or maybe by Pisces season, things are gonna. Well, we just passed Pisces season, not so. I don't know, right? But there's something there, right, with Pisces energy. Maybe tapping into that Pisces intuition, or. But that's beautiful, right? So, yeah, it doesn't feel like there's anything lingering, like, oh, you got to let go of the past. It feels like you probably already did, right? After all that, there was a judgment that's giving you a new go at it, but it's going to depend on you. The path you take will depend on you. The direction your life goes will depend on you. So that's the emphasis, right? Wow, look at underneath the magician. So whatever path you go down in life is going to depend on you speaking into existence, right? It's all on you, Aquarius. So that's kind of the thing. It's a lucky time. Oh, I felt like a sharp thing in the heart too. So it's a lucky time, but yeah, make sure you don't let wow, the moon in reverse. So no like illusions, no nothing, right? Maybe you really did learn your lesson from past things, right? No, maybe this was kind of an illusion. For some reason you stayed stuck in something. You lied to yourself and made yourself believe that. Wow. So for you, this blue moon is gonna be like boom, things are gonna be clear as day, right? No more illusions. Trusting that intuition, right? The mystic side of yourself, right? With that Pisces energy of oh, this is Pisces too. Wow, a lot of Pisces energy. So maybe you are a cusper, you're gonna be connecting with a Pisces, but it's gonna be very straightforward, right? No illusions, no BS, right? I don't know. It's pretty interesting. Let's see. Okay, what else? Wow. I don't know. Was this the past energy then or what? Jeez, yeah. I feel like yeah. Um, yeah, probably in the past, yeah, there was just a lot of for that illusion to crumble. Yeah, you had to go through a tower moment, three of swords, right? Oh, I felt that pain in the heart. Remember, I said, wow, that's crazy. That makes sense. So you definitely had to have like a little. You went in your casket and look at wow with the judgment, right? You jumped out of the casket. So you had to take that time, right? There's a little caskets, right? So you had to I don't think I did a good job, of course. I think you were able to see that. Their little naked rears anyway. So wow, okay. So that's what happened. Oh, and there you are, Aquarius. Wow. So maybe yeah, you feel revitalized right now, but I don't know. It says take time out. So I would say maybe take that time out and then you're gonna be in this like fire horse energy, right? Like you could conquer, take on the world or whatever. So I feel like definitely, yeah, I got chills when I said that. So maybe that's what it is. Just make sure you take that time. Maybe you've already been taking that time, and then boom, just yeah, when you're ready, it feels like yeah, it's gonna be a lucky time. So anything you set your mind to, right? That 10 of cups, if you wanna, charge full speed ahead towards love and you feel like it's the right thing, right? Like the right choice, then do that, right? Or something that's gonna make you yeah, look at the I didn't even see that the two of wands had popped out. So like the world in your hands, right? But take time out. See, there's still this might have came out before that Knight of Wands because it was right there. So maybe just seeing the vision first, right? Before actually taking action, taking the time, and then once you know what you want, yeah, charge forward. It's a lucky time. Just make sure you're like very focused in because just like it said, that the path you take or the way your life goes is gonna depend on you. So don't forget that. I think that's one of the main things that kept popping out during this reading. So make sure you're very aware of whatever direction your life goes in. You can't blame anybody else. It's gonna be on you. So make sure you take the time to, yeah, map something out if you need to do that. Really know what you want. And then didn't the magician come out too? Like about speaking things into existence? I think it did, right? So okay. So last but not least, Pisces. Yeah. All right. Let's go right into it. Let's go right into it. It's crazy how no matter what, like I'm like, okay, I'm gonna use this, use that, and then I ended up using different decks. I didn't get my dice this time, like but everything. Oh wow, Pisces. Turkey spirit, 61. So that adds up to 7. So finally no nines here. Um 16, 7. Turkey spirit, give with gratitude and grace. That's almost like don't be a turkey, right? Like don't be a turkey. Give with gratitude and grace, right? Because someone that's acting like a turkey wouldn't be grateful, wouldn't be graceful, right? So that's funny. But on the flip side, right? Giving with why? Because the turkey sacrifices itself for everybody to enjoy their, Thanksgiving feast and all this stuff and turkey sandwiches and all that other stuff, right? So it's a very selfless spirit animal, right? So maybe if you're having trouble with that right now, um, yeah, tap into that turkey energy, right? And maybe you've been in a period where now that they're asking you to be a little more, you know, give more gratitude, be a little more graceful, then ask the turkey to help you with that energy. Whoa, that one just, where in the world did it even go? That thing just flew out. Wow, I can't even reach it. I can't reach it, but I'm going to reach it because that thing just flew out. There we go. It made me work for it. Wow, Isis healing. So maybe you're in a time of healing right now, Pisces. Isis. That's crazy. Isis healing. So yeah, maybe this blue moon is gonna give you healing that you didn't think was possible, or you've been having trouble with healing, and maybe you've been like, why can't I heal from this, or something, and that's gonna be your little blue moon magic, right? Like all of a sudden you're gonna feel healed from a situation. Capricorn, right? Maybe you're wait, this Pisces, oh no, that's Aquarius. Maybe you have Capricorn in your chart, right? Tapping into that Capricorn energy. I forgot who else Capricorn came out for. Serious, authoritative, ambitious, realistic, structured, traditional, wise, enduring, accomplished, badass, majestic, competent, prepared, down to earth, corporate, reserved, rigid, discipline, right? So maybe right now, hmm, I wonder. Yeah, well, just look up what ice is while healing, right? But maybe for you right now, it would be healing to focus on something, right? And maybe that'll be the miracle. Like, oh wow, while you were focused on whatever goals you wanted to accomplish, like that brought healing, right? Maybe that's part of it. Okay. So what else? Wow, yeah, see? The angel, temperance angel. Maybe you've been feeling kind of defeated with something. That Sagittarius energy, right? Oh, double Sagittarius energy. There's that 9 that keeps coming out. I didn't come out in the with that spirit animal, but it came out anyways, the 9. So yeah, I feel like there's a little bit of a divine intervention there. Yeah, my gut's lighting up. I feel like, yeah, something maybe that you've been having trouble with, it's gonna feel like almost like a miracle, right? If you've been wanting to heal from something and you just feel like no matter what you do, you just feel like, I mean, you're still there, right? You're still standing, holding on to that wand, but you're just tired, right? You keep persevering, and then so you're gonna get an assist, right? Interesting. Wow, yeah, you've been really feeling. Uh-oh. I don't like this. The devil and the tenor. Mm. Ooh, that gave me chills. It's been like something you've been bound to. Like, the thing of the devil is like sometimes, that's self-inflicted, right? Like binding yourself to something that you don't need to be bound to. And like the devil, right? The mudras it's throwing up, right? It's little gang signs. It's saying all you see is all there is, right? Which we know is a lie, right? Especially if you're watching this reading, right? If you're watching tarot or anything, we know that we're tapping into like assistance from the spirit world, God, angels, creator, all these things, right? Ancestors, um, right? Because maybe we're feeling stuck or something, and the devil will lie to you and tell you that no, everything in front of you is all that exists, right? And so you make yourself believe that too, and you become bound and you carry all those burdens, right? That's a lot of Sagittarius energy here. So maybe during this moon, it'll help you finally see clearer. Maybe that, right? Just giving gratitude and feeling that grace, right? Maybe that. Maybe the devil has been able to be louder in your life because you believed it, right? If they tell you, you see, like no one helps you, da da da. Da. I'm surprised the poopy pants card didn't come out. The four of cups, because it's like a very right. So it's almost like someone, right? If someone drinks and rather than something saying, "Hey, put it down," it's like, no, hey, there's why not, right? Like just keep drinking, keep this, keep that. The devil, right? But at the end of the day, right, both of them, the chains are very loose, right? They could throw them off, but yeah, that's pretty interesting. And that's funny, right? Because that's Capricorn energy, and Capricorn came out too. So I don't know. All of them have been light and fluffy, and there you are, Pisces. Maybe you haven't been listening to your intuition. All you see is all there is. You've been listening to yeah, wow. So maybe that's the beautiful blue moon energy, right? A new path, a new beginning with your intuition, optimism. Oh, my dogs are going crazy. I know this thing has a noise cancellation thing. Oh, hey, Brittany. Hope all is well. Oh, wow. What was that on 9/23 2003? Was that like a famous like big accident that happened, or 9/20? I'll have to look it up. Hey, Brittany. Hope all is well. I don't know if I already said that. The devil's a liar. Absolutely. Yeah. So let's see what else. Seeing like that, right? Like obviously, oh, okay. So that's what I'll look it up. You know, yeah. I know it's hard, right? Because when we're going through things, right? I've gone through things where I was, in pain and I saw no light at the end of the tunnel, but I kind of, I basically, yeah, it was like, hey, heal me or put me on my misery kind of thing, because things like that. So when we're in those things sometimes, right, like it's easy to, yeah, to believe the devil, right? That all you see is all there is and there's no hope, right? But maybe, right, that's part of, wow, look at, see, with this blue moon, right? There's something that's gonna be inspiring, right? Maybe something's gonna be like, you know what? I can't get through a situation, or there's something I could do. Um, You know, it's funny. Before this, I saw that I had recorded something I didn't even know, and it was about all these people, right? Like that were, you know, like one guy was I don't know, I think he was born blind, but then, you know, I guess he's even they study him because he learned to use echolocation, right? Like the bats. So he rides bikes, he's all this stuff. He's blind, right? And he uses these things. And then there was a guy that was born deaf, but lights give him sound. So it's crazy, like all these things, right? That the miracles that humans are. We really are these amazing, amazing. Uh wow, and I'm getting chills as I'm saying that. We're just these amazing beings, right? Human beings. We're really amazing. But if we listen to this, all you see is all there is, then we can stay in that energy, right? Of no, you know, like this life isn't worth it when all these things are happening, or you know, all that stuff, right? So I guess in closing, it looks like something's gonna maybe the during this blue moon, something's gonna happen that's gonna inspire you, Pisces, right? Something's gonna inspire you, and you're gonna feel like almost like that, right? Like this second wind. Ah, that's funny, huh? Because that hand almost looks like the wind, right? Coming out of the wind or something. Like there's gonna be some kind of second wind. Maybe some good news is gonna spark that inspiration again, right? Maybe connecting with an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Something, right? Some good news is gonna spark, right? And there's that optimism that came out too, right? So get your yellow boots ready. My throat is kind of that's funny that this came out. So maybe you do need to do like a little you know, that's tregua is truce. So maybe a truce with yourself. Maybe you've been fighting a an enemy that doesn't exist, but it's really, you know, like an enemy within yourself, right? That devil energy, right? Keeping yourself bound to something. Maybe calling truce with yourself, right? Or if there is an external factor, then maybe that. Give yourself a little death and rebirth. But I think that's kind of the whole. Yeah, wow. Okay, maybe you've been feeling unbalanced, and that's kind of. Oh, there's that. Wow, a lot of Capricorn energy, right? We had the Capricorn, right? The devil Capricorn energy. Here's more Capricorn energy. Interesting. It's funny though, because when I think Capricorn, I think very balanced, right? I think of, you know, the goat climbing the mountain and they could stand on a little thing like that and they won't fall to their death, right? So very interesting. But anyways, something's gonna be very inspirational. That's gonna probably give you your second win, Pisces. So that's kind of what I'm getting. Let me see. Man stole. Oh. I forgot what I mean, you know, obviously, if you're resonating with the Pisces reading, I forgot. I mean, I think the Capricorn reading was very positive, but I forgot what it said in the Capricorn reading already, right? But if you're resonating with the Pisces, I think right, the very first message that came out was about that, right? Like, I know it's hard sometimes to give gratitude and grace, but you know, maybe that message of being filled with gratitude is the beginning, right? Like that's when the miracles start happening, right? And that's the battle, right? That's the internal battle. Because if you're listening to the devil, then there's nothing to be grateful for, right? When everything's going bad, whenever, or you know, in this human sense, when things are going bad, then yeah, there's nothing to be grateful for, right? Right? But you know, you see the turkey that, you know, hey, it sacrifices itself for others, and It reminds us, right, that we literally sit around a table, right, eating the turkey and giving grace and gratitude and all that stuff. So I think there's a lot of trust here to be had, right? Maybe that's why too, having a truce within yourself. You're gonna replay what, Brittany? Mm. Yeah, I think this blue moon is gonna bring a lot of things to light, right? So if there has been some kind of cloudiness, right? If somehow we can't see certain things, I think they're gonna make sense, right? I think this blue moon is gonna be full of miracles. And Sagittarius, that's why even here, right? The Sagittarius, literal optimism, right? Literally, that's what it says, optimism, right? And the page is, like new beginnings, right? So I think that during this blue moon in Sagittarius, it makes sense to me, right? That even Pisces, that there's these cards coming out of feeling unbalanced or feeling bound to things, right? That I think it's gonna be beautiful, right? I don't even really want to dig in deeper because I want the universe to do its magic, right? And surprise whoever it has to surprise, right? So yeah, I'll let the universe do its magic, right? So on that note, I think I'll end it there. Oh, okay. Came in there. The Goat Gang reading, yeah. I mean, I had just done it, right? I started with Aries. Well, I started with Gemini, right, for the birthday. So happy birthday once again to all the Geminis. Um, I started with Gemini, then I just went into Aries and went in order, right? So from Aries all the way to Pisces, aside from Gemini, right? So that's kind of the way I went. But yeah, I saw that it was this blue moon. I've already been experiencing a lot of magical things thanks to this blue moon energy, which I didn't really even realize, but then it made sense, right? I was like, oh wow, so that's why, um, all this stuff, right? So it made sense. And yeah, so thank you all for tuning in. I'll put the timestamps. Thank you, Brittany. It's okay, right? It doesn't even. Thank you to everybody. River Dragon, Grace, Poppy Cave, Foster Town, Sylvia, Cat Marie, Internal Intentions, Sharon. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I'll see you all soon. And yeah, have an amazing day. And enjoy that blue moon. Trust that the universe is gonna do some magical stuff, right? And yeah, I think for all of us, right? That's a great way to close it. All of us, right? Give gratitude and grace. There's nothing wrong with giving a little gratitude and grace. So, okay, on that note, I'll see you all.